What is up, ladies and gents? It's your boy Jermaine Event, main on MMA, and today we are checking out a video from Flying Squirrel MMA. All right, Flying Squirrel MMA, and they're saying this video is about the biggest problem in MMA right now, and I think I know what it is, and it's that people don't know what they're watching. People don't know what the fuck they're watching. They want kickboxing, but they don't know that. And then they watch UFC because it's popular. And they're like, I wanted kickboxing. Why are they wrestling? Because you're not watching a kickboxing match. You're watching mixed martial arts. Now let's see what Flying Squirrel has to say about the biggest problem in MMA right now.
So a whole card can either be ruined or saved by a highlight or a low light. In the case of Max Holloway and UFC 300, it was saved. It was saved by Max Holloway knocking Justin Gaethje out. But last night, we had the opposite. We had a low light of Torres Finney winning a fight in the worst possible way you can win a fight today in MMA. And I think it's the biggest problem in the sport. And a lot of people would agree that this is the biggest problem in the sport right now. Winning by nut hugging, winning by
Stop it. If you can't stop it, I guess you lose. That's crazy. This whole, you shouldn't be able to win by taking someone down and completely nullifying their offense. You shouldn't win by being able to stop them from doing anything at all in the fight. You shouldn't be able to win that way. That's the same argument I used to hear back in the day when you play like Street Fighter. And they'd be like, man, you just be playing this, you just be pressing the same button. Why don't you press that button? If I'm winning over and over again by just pressing the same goddamn button, why don't you press that button? Instead, you're trying to do all these combinations and I'm just pressing B and I'm winning. And I'm fucking winning. So that's the same argument here. He's just grappling. He's just wrestling him, taking him down. He's not standing and punching each other in the face. He's not taking him down. I mean, he's taking him down. Don't do that. Then learn how to not get taken down. Learn how to get back up. Learn how to break away and start the striking. Learn how to handle the wrestling here. You can't be like, oh, wrestling's the problem. You're watching the wrong sport. You're watching the wrong sport.
Pushing and mushing against the fence in a boring way a drab, boring way that makes the fans start booing. It can cast a shadow on the card.
I'm a huge Kobe guy. What is Kobe known for? Pushing this guy up against the fence, holding him there, and just pitter-patter punching him up against the fence. That's Kobe's game. So I will never say I hate it when people are just holding people up against the fence and nullifying their offense. It's a great way to win fights.
You forget, even a record-breaking main event, it'll make you forget. Like when Batista beat Aldo, it was just all like, okay. Dude, this made people want to like.
What is he talking about? The fight I was most hyped for on this card was Vieira Harrison, to be honest. Let me see if anything, look at this. Yeah, Vieira Harrison was the fight I was most hyped for. And definitely not Aldo Batista. I don't know who was super hyped for that fight. I think at Calf Kick Sports, the homie, Ash was a little hyped for Batista. And I was like, I don't see it. I was not that hype. I was hyped for Kayla Harrison versus Ketlin Vieira. That's the fight for me, but I'm a different type of nigga, obviously.
Like, end it all, okay? And then luckily we had a historic main event. Sometimes you don't have a historic main event. Sometimes you have Lerone Murphy.
It's also weird to me when people say these things like, everyone was hype about this one. We were all, but who are you speaking for? You're not speaking for me as a fan. Definitely not speaking for me. I don't know why they always say like, everybody was thinking this. Everybody wanted it. No, they didn't. I watch MMA. I went to jiu-jitsu classes to learn what the fuck I was watching and what was happening on the ground.
Backpedaling the whole time like a cornerback. And so it can really cast a dark shadow on the whole event. It's kind of like if you were to go to Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, or Six Flags Over Texas, but then you pee your pants on one of the lines or in one of the rides. Then for the rest of your life, you got your dad bringing it up talking about every time someone comes over to the house. Did I tell you the story of how he peed his pants when we were at Six Flags? Oh my gosh. That's when I knew this kid, he wasn't going to be a varsity athlete. Jeez, man. No, we didn't leave. I made him walk the rest of the park with the wet pants. Yeah, I had to teach him a lesson, That's how I had to teach him a lesson. Now all you remember about Six Flags
what are we talking
is
about?
having warm, itchy jeans and the clear day that you became a disappointment to your father. Wrestlers right now in the UFC are being a disappointment. They are pissing down their legs.
You're watching the wrong sport.
Not going to say as a whole, but a select few. They're pissing down their legs, and they're ruining it for everybody else. Batista, he almost ruined that card. Last night, Torres Finney ruined the card.
Oh,
how?
Man.
This is ignorant. I see if these guys were cheating. If grappling wasn't allowed, and they're like, whoa, why the heck they keep holding? He keeps holding. Like when I'm watching boxing and the people keep clinching up, I hate it. I hate when they just keep grabbing and they want the referee to separate them. They'll come and hug a guy, and it's like, why does this keep happening? This is boxing. But if we're talking about MMA, you're not. Oh my God, this argument is crazy.
But you're just ruining it.
And it sucks because he's a guy who worked so hard to get into the UFC. And he gets into the UFC, he finally gets his contract, and he fights one of the worst fights ever. And this fight could have been amazing, man. It could have put Ultimate Fighter back on the map. It could have validated.
Huh?
I don't speak English today. It could have validated Torres Finney as a legitimate contender, a guy who deserves to be in the UFC. Now people
Fucking
are like,
huge.
dude, why did we even sign this guy? Dana White was right, maybe. Sadly, even though he can pick up a truck, maybe he needs to be picking up trucks. Because in the UFC, you can't just be picking people up. I was excited for this, man.
Yeah, you can.
I always go for the underdog. I always go for the person with the odds stacked
That's a
against them. I always
weird
go for
statement.
wrestlers.
He won the fight.
I like going for the black guy, even if he's ashy.
You can't just be picking people up. He won the fight. He's picking them up, slamming them, he's wrestling them. He won the fight. Clearly, this is a winning strategy.
Torres Finney, put lotion on, dude. Lotion is like $2.
What is that?
Anyways. All he did was shoot doubles. And he didn't shoot doubles like Jordan Burroughs. He didn't even shoot doubles like Marab.
Lotion is definitely not like $2. Maybe if you want to put some bullshit on your skin, but if you want some of that good shit, that's like $20 right there for 2.5 ounces.
He shot doubles like Ice Spice, just with his butt sticking out. I would be watching this fight, and I felt bad. I was watching it, and my niece was sitting right next to me. The whole video is his booty in the air, dude.
You thought I was feeling you?
No, I don't have any talent, but I can stick my butt in the air. This is ruining the sport. This is the worst problem in MMA. But wrestling is awesome. It's awesome. You got to stop embarrassing us, man.
Look at my lips. You're ruining it. Ruining the fun for the next man.
We're getting the reputation as wrestlers as being crotch sniffers, inflicting no damage, wasting time.
So?
Where they're calling us cowards. We're robbing fans
Who
of fun
cares
fights,
what they're
dude.
saying?
Like, this could have been a
who's
really
these
fun
people?
fight if he
Like a
didn't
couple
just spam
Twitter
double
comments
legs.
and you're
the
like,
truth
no, that's
is
the
that,
narrative?
Like, wrestling, it is still a dominant discipline in MMA. Like, I think it's still completely necessary to have the skill set to know how to defend a takedown, to shoot a takedown, how to control someone on the top, to know how to use your wrist control techniques, to know how to
hold
mat
somebody
return,
against
all
that
that
fence.
stuff. I think that's super important. But the problem is, the wrestlers are not the only people who know these techniques now. This is standard practice in every MMA gym. That's why you had an all-American Kamaru Usman get countered by a British dude, Leon Edwards. Everyone knows it. Like, wrestlers aren't special. They're not special anymore. We have people from Asia and Europe who wrestle just as good.
When did this video come out? This came out 12 hours ago. So he saw Leon get dominated in the wrestling by a real wrestler, but like somebody who's real good with their grappling, like Sean Brady. Somebody who's really good with their grappling, like Bilal Muhammad. I mean, I'm not saying that Kamaru isn't, but Kamaru was taken off guard. He didn't expect that to happen. He tripped him out, got him to the ground, and took his back. He tripped him out, man. It wasn't like Leon just came in here with a sick double leg. Niggas is like, holy shit, look at Leon's wrestling against Kamaru. That's not what happened. This is crazy.
For just as long, but when they were wrestling as kids, they were wrestling through civil wars in their country. Not Iron Man versus Captain America. No, they had tanks blowing up their neighborhoods, and then they're like, hey, you want to go practice some double legs? So now, if you get stalemated and you're stuck up against the fence, the whole fight, you got to be able to adapt. You can't just crotch sniff. I think, personally...
I think we've seen enough of this nonsense argument. This is a weird argument I've seen too many people make. I can't really listen to this nonsense anymore. If you can't stop it, then I'm going to use it. All right. If this is how this shit works, if you can't stop what I'm doing, then I'm going to do that shit. All right. And I'm going to take 2 checks home and you're going to take 1. This is crazy to me. Yeah, but the fans aren't cheering. They don't know what the fuck they're watching. I guaranteed. If this fight took place in Japan, every time he takes him down, every time he gets in a better position, if he's on the ground and he transitions into half guard, if he goes from full guard to half guard, that whole crowd would go crazy. Because they know what they're watching. They're not like, no, but I want it to be this way. I'm watching this, but I want you guys to do it the way that I personally want. You're not a fan of the sport. That's why I stopped watching WWE when I was younger. You know? It was like, damn, why don't they give this person a chance? I like that guy. That person's cool. Why don't they give these people a chance? But that shit is definitely not about what the fans want. You know what I'm saying? They got a script and this is happening. This is our story. And I was like, this is annoying. I'm just going to annoy myself sitting here saying I want things to be this way. But that was never how this was set up. It was never how this was set up. Okay? So if you're watching MMA and you're like, the problem with MMA is people keep just grappling and holding people against the fence. And I guess if you're an actual fighter and you can't stop it, I could understand you making that argument. Like, people need to stop just crotch sniffing. Like when Jorge Masvidal was making that argument, and then he goes in and gets wrestle fucked by Kobe, can't do anything about it, goes in and gets hugged up against the octagon, foot stomps to oblivion by Kamaru. He couldn't stop it. I can understand if you have to deal with that personally, then you'd be like, yeah, man, you're trying to goat people into not doing that. What was that one girl who was married to JP Buys? The girl that was married to JP Buys, and then she was fighting Corey McKenna. She's fighting Corey McKenna. Corey McKenna was losing on the feet in the first round, so Corey took her down in the first round. She couldn't get back up. Corey immediately takes her down in the second round. She couldn't get back up. So before the third round starts, like the girl that was married to JP Buys, I forget her name, Blissmas, something, I don't know. Can't remember her first name. But she started talking trash like, let's see what you can do with the hands, though. Let's see if you can do standing up. And like Corey just like just smiled at her, just laughed like, okay. And she took her down. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can't stop it, and this is a part of this fighting, I'm not going to just stand and have an exciting fight with you when you're the better striker and I'm the better grappler. I'm going to wrestle. And if they can boo, oh, I want them to stand up, I want to see blood, fuck them. I want 2 paychecks. And I want to see, and me personally, I want to see the sport that I am here to see, which is mixed martial arts, which includes wrestling. And if you don't want heavy wrestling, if you don't want that as a possible outcome, then get the fuck out of here. Watch something else, man. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you guys for being here once again. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and I will see you guys when I see you guys.
I'm more Francis Ngannou. I be the biggest problem out of any nigga I know. A little old school like some 45 vinyls. You niggas old dudes, what that do to the wino? I do it the commercial way, pay without the splits.